Hi, I'm James from the Watercress Company, and we're going to give you a bit of an insight today about how we grow watercress in our farms around Dorset and Hampshire, and have been since the 1850s. We're going to take you on a bit of a journey and explain how we grow this delicious crop. Watercress is deeply interlaced in Britain's history of food and farming, and what started off as a bunch in weekend markets in London, Edinburgh, Birmingham, around the country, has now become a firm favourite and a supermarket staple. It's enjoyed in pastas, salads, sandwiches, smoothies, pesto, and it's become one of Britain's favourite salads. And in fact, we eat more watercress than anywhere else in the entire world. So let's find out exactly why we all enjoy watercress so much.
Ooh, are those cheese and watercress sandwiches my favourite?
We can put it in stir fries, we can use it in oriental cooking, we can steam it, braise it, boil it, we can dress it.
My favourite thing at the moment is, and we should be using more of it, watercress.
I love watercress.
It's lovely and peppery.
Watercress soup. Can you make one of those one day?
Yeah, I mean, people sort of equate it to sort of roquette, really, but it has got a flavour on its own. It's not the same as roquette, in my opinion.
It's intense.
So just eat it straight out.
Yeah, eat it straight from the bed.
It's delicious. I love it. Really meaty, irony, peppery.
So watercress soup to start off with.
Oh
fresh
my
watercress.
gosh.
Really nice with a poached egg in it.
Really?
Delicious. Great thing. Is that good? Oh, look, he likes it.
Oh my God, it's amazing.
Oh my goodness me.
Isn't that amazing?
It is absolutely delicious, and it's very good for you.
So Jimmy's got it all in his mouth.
Not only does watercress taste great, it's also a powerhouse of nutrition. But don't just take my word for it.
So what's low in fat and high in nutrients is said to improve your brain power and your sex life. And apparently, Liz Early can't get enough of it. Forget the so-called superfoods and your expensive and exotic berries and get your hands on some of this stuff.
Containing no less than 15 essential vitamins and minerals, watercress is also rich in calcium, potassium and iron.
The chemicals or the compounds that are produced as you macerate and chew watercress, you get something called ITCs, which is called isothiocyanates, and they're responsible for helping your body detox, but also have properties that have been linked with cancer prevention.
People used it back in the Hippocrates days, right? They were using it for bad breath. Has more vitamin C than oranges, has more potassium, right, than bananas, has more calcium than milk, and there's an index, it's a nutritional index.
Yep.
It bats 1,000. It's a 0 to 1,000 scale. It's a perfect vegetable.
Antioxidant, antibacterial effects, anti-cancerous, shown success in a test. Vitamin K, vitamin A, the list is endless. I am impressed with watercress. Watercress is best when raw and fresh. Stimulating gastric, helps you digest all the phytonutrients and all of the rest. I am impressed with watercress.
They know that watercress is a blood cleanser, so when we eat it, it helps us with our liver and kidney functionality.
So in Victorian times, watercress was hand harvested. It was either pulled to thin, so you'd pull selective areas of watercress and let the rest of the crop grow back. It was pulled to clear, so you would empty the entire bed, or it was cut and the watercress would grow back again. In Victorian times, they left the root on and they would actually pack the watercress straight into wicker flats or baskets like this, and these would be sent off to market. Being highly perishable, the roots helped the watercress survive a little longer, and that was sold into markets and made little bunches in the markets and almost eaten like an ice cream cone. It was basically the first fast food of its day. It was eaten by factory workers who would often have dirty hands, so they'd get this highly nutritious plant, eat the tops of it and then discard the stems. It's always important, as it is still today, to get watercress to the markets as quickly as possible because it's a powerhouse of nutrition. It's important to eat it as soon as possible, but also it's highly perishable. The Victorians knew this, and with the advent of the steam railways, it was possible to get it to the markets all around the country very quickly. In fact, there's a wonderful line, still affectionately known as the Watercress Line, which is the Mid-Hants Railway, running between Alresford in Hampshire and Alton. And if you haven't seen their video, check them out. They've got their own Heritage Open Day video. It's highly recommended. Nowadays, we're using more modern technology to harvest and supply our watercress, which helps us to grow, harvest and sell up to 2 million kilos of watercress every year. That's a lot of salad. Our beds are fed by millions of litres of high-quality spring water, potable at source, from underground springs like this. When it rains here, the water slowly permeates through the chalk and enters what's called an underground confined aquifer. These are bodies of water under pressure, Faults in the rock force the water up, and this high quality spring water, naturally mineral rich, is diverted through our beds and then finally into the watercourse. And in this much open farmland, as you can imagine, we support a huge amount of wildlife. So let's find out exactly who lives in around our farms. From tiny freshwater shrimps like this in our springs and beds, to much bigger species living above the treetops, we respect and appreciate that wildlife is an integral part of our work here. It's a true cycle of nature, one feeding the other. Well, I hope that's given you a bit of an insight into watercress, how we do it, how we grow it, and the wildlife around our farms. We'd love you to try it for yourself, so pick up a bag next time you're in a supermarket. And for inspiration and recipe ideas, head to watercress.co.uk.